Okay. This. All right. Hopefully you guys can all see my screen.
Yes.
Great. All right. So we're gonna go over the Parkitecture competition. This is the website. It's through another TPAD variant. It's CAPED, I guess. So we're just gonna go over like stuff that's on the website, but if you guys have any questions, just let me know while we're doing it and then I can talk about it. So Parkitecture, it's a virtual architectural design competition that offers university students the opportunity to showcase their skills. So basically what it is, it's a way for architecture students to get more involved with designing theme parks, especially because there's a lot of engineering ones. So these are all the judges. These are all like more design firms. Anyway, but if you scroll down, there's the 2026 challenge. Full prompt. I'm gonna go over actually team rules and the important dates first. So anyone can join, but it's a team of 1 to 4 members. So you could do it by yourself or you could have like a partner, you know. All students are welcome, so um, you know, if obviously you guys are probably engineering and stuff, so you're still welcome to apply. All schools. The stuff for registration, it closes on Sunday, so that's this Sunday. And then in March, all the deliverables are due, so I'm gonna go into that prompt. So if you click on the prompt, you'll get taken to this page. And this is like kind of all you really need to know. So it has a short about the competition, the brief. So the theme is going to be full ADA compliancy with the theme of backyard biomes. So it's going to be a place in Morgan's Wonderland. I'm going to zoom in here. So Morgan's Wonderland is like a specialty park designated for disabled kids and adults of all ages. So like they have a lot of like wheelchair accessible rides, stuff like that. Ways to like if you have like cerebral palsy, you can like lock your kid in and then they won't like get hurt on the ride, but they can still do it. So it's a really cool place and we're getting like this like little corner in Morgan's Wonderland to work on. Yeah, and we can go on Google Maps and like kind of figure it out. But this is where we're doing it. You don't have to use all of this area, but you do have to make it so you can fit everything in this area. And have it like actually like well integrated into the park, if that makes sense. So like it actually has to blend in to the rest of the park. Hi, Taylor. I'm just going over um like the requirements so far. We're on the CAPED site. So I'll link that and then you can kind of read some of the rules and stuff going into it. It's 1 to 4 members, all students welcome. And then our registration closes on Sunday, so should figure out if we want to do it by then. And then all deliverables will be due in March. Hello. Okay. I guess I should have waited a few more minutes, but we're kind of going over our requirements. It's going to be an ADA accessible park located in Morgan's Wonderland. Kind of went over it a little bit more, but you can read more about it here. And I mean, you'll be able to watch the video again. Yeah, so that's what we're doing. And if you flip the page, oh, sorry. Okay. Um, if you guys have questions, please feel free to unmute yourselves and ask at any time. Okay, so the programs that we're going to do, for those of you that are not architecture majors, programs are basically like things to do on your site. So like a site is just an area of land where you're going to be building something. A program is what you're going to be doing on that plan. So like say you're building a movie theater, the program would be people buying popcorn, people going to see a movie, people exiting the theater. You know, you would have a parking lot on there. Um, so for this section of land, we're going to want a viewing area or multiple viewing areas surrounded by plants. I think that's what this means. I'm assuming that's what that means. So you want some viewing areas that, and since this is an ADA and disability focused park, I would assume you would want it to be a quiet space, just as like a little tidbit for people who have autism and like other neurodivergency. So if it's overstimulating in the park, they have areas where they can self-regulate and calm down. Um, we also want service buildings, so we need staff offices, storage, and restrooms. Obviously, restrooms are very important um, for a theme park, so you want to have a couple of those in there, both for guests and separately for like the staff, like backstage, if that makes sense. Um, so you want some of those things. Also for service, I would recommend having a staff parking lot. Um, I know it's a really good idea just to have more areas for staff to get to work on time and for managers to kind of park like their company cars and stuff. Yeah, so that would also probably be a good service if you have extra space. And we want dynamic adventures. They're asking specifically for ropes courses, zip lines, climbing walls, obstacle courses, etc. So if you think about maybe California Adventure and the Redwood Trail, maybe something like that where you know, able-bodied people can get up and, you know, climb around and have fun. This is like a smaller family park, so I can imagine maybe bigger rides are not something that they're looking for. Maybe something easy to maintain and something like that doesn't really cost them any money to operate. And then they also want leisurely adventures, so playgrounds, water activities, theatrical. Um, yeah, so like the I feel like playgrounds kind of goes into dynamic adventures. So you could just build like a super big playground and I think you'd be good. Water activities, that could be swimming, that could be like splash pads, what have you. Okay, and then I wanted to get into deliverables with you guys because I know as engineers you may not be aware of some of like this technical stuff. So obviously project title with a concept statement. A project title should be like all encompassing. It shouldn't be super bland like in engineering. It should be like something that's like themed, if that makes sense. So like for my last group project, we were doing a homeless shelter, transitional housing for the homeless. And like our theme was trees, so our project title was Rooted Together. So you want something like that's like kind of fun like that. Um, and you want a site plan of the full park. I'm gonna look up some site plans. It's basically like a bird's eye view in black and white of like, well, it doesn't have to be black and white. It usually is black and white, but it could be in color like this one. Um, but it's a site plan of like the whole, they're looking for the full park. So I would assume they're looking for a full site plan of Morgan's Wonderland with the addition. And then they'll also be looking for just a site plan of your new addition. So like maybe like a zoomed in one. So like say like this was your new plan, this like little house down here. So they'd want like the full thing, and then they'd also want like gist of the house, if that makes sense. So a site plan, they want plans, sections, and elevation views. So a section is basically like if you cut a house in half, you can see like a little bit of the ground if there's a basement. But then like this thick black outline is like the outer walls, and then they have skinnier inside lines for like indoor walls and stuff. So you can kind of see like I don't really know how to explain this, but obviously I'm not an architecture teacher, but it's kind of a way just to get like a good layout of like where your buildings are and like the insides of the buildings. So for this, I would assume I'm gonna go back to this page. I would assume that they would likely want a section going long ways this way to see the whole park. And then of your service buildings and like restrooms and stuff, they would probably want sections of those to see the insides. Um, and you could put like little people in there and stuff. I don't know. There's one in here with people. Yeah. So sometimes sections can look like this where they're rendered. And that means that like, they just have like colors and pictures on them. But then you kind of see how everyone is supposed to be like living their life in this building. Um, YouTube was my best friend when I started architecture. Obviously, I transferred from engineering, so I had to like learn all this stuff on the job. And YouTube is your best friend when trying to like learn all this stuff. So like just look up some like architecture 101 videos. You want elevation views, that too. And then here's some elevations. It's kind of like it's like a section, but it doesn't cut through the building to where you're seeing the insides. It's just the outside, and you can see each angle. So like this is the front, this is the back, this is the right side, this is the left side, you know? So um I would do that like your most important buildings, probably the service buildings and like your playgrounds. Um yeah, and then they want perspective views. I would also say they probably would like to have an axonometric view where it's kind of like a well, I don't want the ones where you don't have to have them like with all of this going on. Like I'm trying to point at my computer, my God. Like all of like the levels, but just like a overview at an angle, kind of like this, I guess. Um, oh, this is a good one. So like kind of like that where you kind of get a good kind of view of your site, and then you can see all the people in there and stuff. And they're gonna want perspective experiential views. So that means that like you have to put your if you're working in like Revit, Rhino, I think SketchUp also has this feature where you could put a camera in there to act as like a person's eyes. Um, so they want you to put one in there and get like a shot like as if you were like looking at something.
Yeah, SketchUp does that. It has like you can make scenes
Oh yeah,
with
that's
like
perfect.
placing the camera.
Oh yeah, I actually did that. Okay, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Um, uh, so you can kind of have it like at this level where it's like if you were standing on this sidewalk, then you can see what's happening, um, like going on in the scene. So you want to like angle it at like the most important stuff or like the big center of your programs. And then day to night schematic views. So I think they want to have I don't know how we're gonna do this on a PDF, but it sounds like they want a sun, not a sun study, but like the Revit kind of in Revit you can have it where it goes from day to night. Um so I would just do like a day picture and a night picture and then have like all the lamps light up and all that. And then this is an important one. We want ADA compliance details, so have a slide or two talking about your design decisions and like make sure that your bathrooms are accessible, make sure that all the ramps are less than 8 degrees. incline. That's usually the standard. I would check for the state that Morgan's Wonderland is in. Sorry. It is, I don't know. Say. Okay, in Texas. So look up the ADA rules in Texas. You can really just Google it and it should come up with like PDFs and stuff from the government. And just make sure that like everything's in compliancy. And if you can squeeze in like stuff into the playground or like an accessible swing set or something like that, that would like really boost your point scores, I think. And then any other material needed to communicate the design. Oh, jeez, okay. Um, so like if you want to add pictures, if you want to add extra slides and stuff, you can do that. If you think it's gonna help you, then yes. But if you're just adding it in there to put filler in there, then don't add it. It's better to have like only a few slides that are really good than like a bajillion slides that don't really say anything at all. Okay. So teams may pick one main biome to theme their adventure park. The theme is backyard biomes. So it just means like any extreme biome. It could be the desert, it could be the tundra, it could be a jungle, it could be like a savanna or something. But you want to pick like one biome for your park. Um, and then you're also not required to use the full site. So if you only think like half of this is good, if you only need half, then only use half. Um, so you don't have to use the full site. And then you want to use an 11 by 17 slide layout. Oh, presentation must not exceed 6 slides. Oh, that's important. So make sure you have a maximum of 6. But 11 by 17 is basically two regular pieces of paper put together. Um, it's kind of weird that I feel like it's weird that architecture uses that, but it's what we use. If you want to print out an 11 by 17, I don't know why you would because it's all digital, but if you wanted to, you could print it out at any of the Print Anywhere stations around campus and you could just see how big that is. Canva, I know, uses an 11 by 17. Like you can customize slides to be that size. So if you want to use Canva for that, that'd be good. Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, what else? Any of the Adobe stuff you can customize all that. So yeah, make sure it's 11 by 17 inches. Um, and then you can't use AI, so don't do it. Concepts, so you can't use like Disney IP or anything like that. And then this one just says like if you happen to like put something on that's like in the works at like another company, then it's just supposed to like be okay for you. Like they can't sue you because it like how are you supposed to know? Um, so yeah, so competition starts February 2nd, so that's Monday. Again, registration opens up or closes on Sunday. It's already open. But yeah, so all submissions are final, so you can't revise after you submitted it, so make sure everything's okay. It all has to be in the same PDF. Make sure you follow these names. Um, and then you just submit by email. So yeah, and then another thing I wanted to go over for all of you art or not architect, engineering people. Um, I got asked what programs I would recommend doing or like learning. And I would say Rhino is probably going to be your best bet, especially if you're coming from engineering. I feel like it's the easiest to like learn in a like pinch. I took really well to it after engineering. Um, and it has like it's basically like one of the most used programs in the country. If you want to get crazy, you can use Revit. Revit's not not great for beginners. They do offer a class at ASU. Um, but obviously you're not gonna be able to complete it in time by like the time the competition is over. But if you did want to go ahead and like learn Revit for whatever reason you can, Yeah, and then SketchUp, it's not really used in the industry, unfortunately, but it's so great. It's like the blender of architecture, architecture 3D modeling. It's super easy to pick up and like learn, and it actually like I feel like it has better measuring tools than Rhino. Um, so if like at any point you just want to like have it in SketchUp and transfer it to Rhino, I think you could do that as well. Rhino and Revit are provided through ASU. Um, but Rhino is a little bit weird because you have to download ASU's VPN onto your computer. It's also only for Windows, so you have to have a Windows computer. You have to download their VPN, and then you can access Rhino. So it's a little weird. I'll put instructions in the Discord if you're interested, because I meant to send those to Melody actually. Um, so yeah, if you want to do that, I'll put those in there. Yeah. Does anyone have any questions while we're here? I can go over some
Um, are
things.
there any like square footage requirements for the program?
I don't think so. I
So
think
I
it's however much you feel like you need. So like you just need to you just need to have dynamic adventures, leisurely adventures. So I would assume like maybe one or two of each. And then however much those take up.
okay.
Yeah. The only site requirements I see are like you can only stay within this square, but you can use as much of it as you want. Does anyone else have any questions? Yes, no, maybe. All right. Well, I mean, if you guys are all good, I can stick around after for a little bit. Or if you just want to shoot me like a thing in the Discord, that's good too.